Hello everyone. Today we'll be going through IGCSE chemistry, which is kinetic particle theory of matter. This is the topic, and this is from Cambridge, Daxel, EQ, and Oxford syllabuses. And keep in mind, this topic is having three videos. First is states of matter, and then mixtures of substances and diffusion, and this third one is kinetic particle theory of matter. You need to go through all three, and these are already there in the playlist. Now if you start the three states of matter in your syllabus, three states of matter are included, which are solid, liquid, and gas. So solid, liquid, and gas, which is in case of water, it will be steam. So in daily life, we can see there are a lot of things in all these three states, and we will be going through in detail this topic. And we see that everything around us, solid, liquid, and gases, is made of tiny moving particles. So this is according to the kinetic molecular theory of matter, that all the states of matter are solid, liquid, gases are made up of tiny particles, and their motion and arrangement. Motion is very important, and arrangement of molecules is also very important and explains all the physical properties. So, physical properties, which are the properties which you can see, like their color, their hardness, softness, and those type of physical properties of substances are basing on their motion and arrangement. So let us uncover how the invisible dance of particles explains the world we see. If we go to the particles in motion, so solid particles are packed together. They are having very small spaces, and they are holding each other. So solids are molecules are not leaving their place, and they just vibrate at their places to and from motion. And the liquids are basically molecules which are in all types of motion, like the translatory motion they are having. They can change their location, they can slide past, and they are having vibrational, rotational, and translation, all three types of motion. And the gas molecules are having huge spaces, and there are very less, or you can say negligible, forces of fraction between the molecules, and they are having huge spaces, and you can pack them in a very small space. They occupy the space whatever available to them. So we can say that all matter is made up of tiny particles. These particles are constantly moving, and the motion can be different in different states, as we discussed that solid, liquid, and gas molecules are having different types of motion. The speed and spacing of particles depending on their energy and temperature. So energy and temperature depends upon the basically the spaces between them are depending upon the energy and the space temperature. So the hotter the substance, the faster the particles move. That is kinetic energy in action. So if we heat solid material, so its particles will be vibrating with higher force, and they will be hitting to the adjacent molecules with a higher force, and hence they will be transferring energy to the adjacent particles. Similarly, in case of liquid, if we will be heating liquid material, so particles kinetic energy will change, and they will be moving with the higher velocity. And gas particles are also, upon heating, their kinetic energy is increasing. If we go through in detail solid, liquid, and gases, a particle view, if we see in case of gases, they are having huge spaces and they are moving with a higher velocity. Liquids are inside the container, and they are having lesser gaps as compared to gases. And the solids are packed together and having fixed shape and fixed volume. In case of liquids, they are having fixed volume but not fixed shape. So in case of gases, they are not having fixed volume and shape, and they occupy, molecules are occupying, in case of gas, molecules are occupying the spaces whatever available to them. So we can study all three states on the basis of particle arrangement and movement and the forces between them. So In case of solids, particles are closely packed and vibrate in place, as we discussed, the to and fro motion about the mean position, and the forces are very strong in case of solids. In case of liquids, if we see, they are close but random, and they are moving slide past each other, and that's why the fluidity of a liquid is depending upon the gaps between them. So slide past each other, we can say, and they're having weaker forces, but there are intermolecular forces. And then in case of gas, they are far apart and move freely and fast, and there are very weak forces in case of gases. Then we can say that these differences explain why solids have fixed shape, liquids flow, and gases fill any space because of the forces between all three types of substance of matter. And they are having physical properties, and they are having behavior according to that one. Now, if we see the change of states, change of state is from solid to liquid, from solid to liquid, or liquid to gas, or it can be from gas to solid also. So all three states can be interconvertible. So if we heat solid, it will be melting, and that process will be on the melting point. It will change to liquid, and this process is known as melting. And liquid, if further heated, will be converting into gas, and that will be the conversion of liquid at to the gas stage will be at the boiling point. And then gas to back conversion to liquid is condensation or liquefaction, and the liquid to solid will be freezing and or solidification. And further, we can have another stage which is basically direct conversion of solid to gas, and gas to solid. From solid to gas is sublimation without switching to liquid in between, and the gas converting directly to solid is also known as sublimation, but then there's another name of deposition also. So you need to keep in mind these three states also. They're asking an exam about these three states. When heated, particles gain kinetic energy, move faster, and break forces, change state. When cooled, so upon cooling, they will be losing energy, and particles slow down and forces pull them to closer. So in this way, gas will be switching to liquid, and liquid will be switching to solid. Further, the change in temperature changes the energy, and the energy changes everything. So basically, when we are taking out energy, molecules will be slowing down, and when we are providing energy, their kinetic energy will increase. The power of particle model, if we study the particle model, what's particle model again? Particle model is that everything in gas, liquid, and solid is made up of tiny particles, which are atoms, and or more than two atoms are combining together to form molecules. So we can say that the molecules or the units, or you can say that everything is made up of molecules, and these molecules are moving according to their situation, and they are having energy, and they are having different attractions between intermolecular forces, and they are diffusing also. We can explain diffusion, pressure, and expansion on the basis of molecular theory. When we will be changing temperature, how diffusion will change, how pressure will change, and how expansion will be happening. Because of temperature change, molecules kinetic energy will increase, and they will be moving with a higher kinetic energy. Hence diffusion will be quicker, pressure will be more, because they will be hitting to the walls of the container with a higher force. And expansion, because they will be expanding, molecules will be, in case of solid, they will be hitting to the adjacent molecules with higher amplitude, and in this case, in this way, they will be expanding. Helps predict how matter behaves during the reactions and heating. and also foundations for understanding gas laws, states, and chemical bonding. So, on the basis of particle model of matter, we can understand all these things. And from gas pressure to bonding, the kinetic particle theory in chemistry is chemistry's ultimate secret behind matter. So, on the basis of kinetic model, we can explain the states of matter and their behavior upon heating or cooling. This is done. Hopefully, you understood each and everything. Don't forget to go through all three videos on the topic. And thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.